And we are probably live. Yeah, it looks like we're live. What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here at Stokastic.com. NBA Strategy Show time. Monday, December 15th. 10 days to go for a lovely Christmas. Not a ton of basketball, though. At least for these first couple days this week. 5 games overall today. Just 4 on the DraftKings main slate. We've got Pistons Celtics at 7. We've got Raptors Heat at 7:30. We've got Mavs Jazz at 9. We've got Rockets and Nuggets at 9:30. And then one final late night hammer, Grizzlies Clippers at 10:30. So that's where we stand. 4 of them on DraftKings. I have not looked yet at FanDuel. I'm assuming FanDuel included this one, but I don't know that for sure. Tomorrow, we've got NBA Cup Finals. Minimal day. Wednesday, we only have 2 games. They both lock at 8 o'clock. And then we get to Thursday. We got a 12-gamer. A 7 o'clock, a 7:30, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8:30, 9, 9, 9, 10. That is going to be a monster. And unfortunately, it's on the worst possible day, Thursday night football day. And then Friday, we're back with just 5 games. Likely just a 4-game slate on DraftKings because there's a 2-hour gap. That's where we're at for the week. Well, let's take a nice slow lap through these games. We'll touch on all of the relevant information. We'll go about our merry way. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Mine was good. No complaints. I need a sip of this. Ready to get back into it for this week. Closed out the weekend pretty strong. Hit the old 6 out of 6 on PrizePicks Saturday night. Posted details. You should be following. Makes it easier. There we go. That's probably best. Let's just start it up. We'll start looking at this one. Detroit Pistons taking on the Boston Celtics in Boston. Pistons 1.5-point dogs. 230 total. Not a lot to deal with here. No injury news for Detroit. Standard issue stuff. Cade, Duncan Robinson, Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren. Rotation is pretty much set at this point. Seems like it's going to be LeVert, Stewart, Ivy, Holland, Green, Jenkins on the outside looking in. You know, anytime anybody's out, it's pretty easy for them to move one dude in. Also, shout out to December 15th. Today is the first day you would really see NBA trades. Anybody that's signed in the offseason is officially tradable as of today. If you are traded by tomorrow, you are still eligible to be aggregated in a trade at the trade deadline. If you are traded any day after tomorrow, you are not eligible to be aggregated in any trades. Keep your eyes peeled. This is the sort of like the Lauri Markkanen of last year. He waited an extra day to sign his extension so that he could not be traded. But yeah, Pistons side, everything we've come to know so far this season. Boston side, same story. Everything we've come to know this season. Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, Jordan Walsh, Neemias Queta. You're going to get Simons, Hauser, Minot, some combination of like Shireman and Hugo Gonzalez. Pretty easy game to talk about. So let's start here. In my top 10 between Boston and Detroit, Peyton Pritchard, Neemias Queta, Asar Thompson are all in my top 5 for today. For reference, Pritchard's 3, Queta's 4. Sorry, Asar Thompson is now 6. He had been a spot higher. I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody moved around in here since I ran an update before I posted contenders, but the point still stands. Those 3 guys are all in the top 10. All right around the 20% optimal mark. Derek White, Tobias Harris, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Duren are sort of the next tier for me, and I'll be able to show this to you even easier. And then guys like Jordan Walsh, Simons. I don't love Cade today at 10-7. We could have that conversation in a bit. But just trying to like rank it out. In this game, we're looking at Pritchard, Cada, Thompson as what I would say to be the best options. Brown, White, Harris are next up in optimal. Realistically, Jalen Duren is probably right here in tier A, but like it's close. There's definitely a clear line in the sand after Duren, as far as I'm concerned, for optimal rate, that is. But it's obviously not crazy to want to go to Cade Cunningham. Because we've got Jokic today. If we want to look at this sorted by salary, Jokic is 12,700. Cade is 10,700. Jaylen Brown, AD, 9,700, 9,500, questionable tag on AD. Şengün at 9,300, who is my favorite play of the day. And then Scotty Barnes at 9K. That breaks up the pay-ups here. But it's hard to want to pay 10-7 for Cade. At least it is to me. Now, it helps that there isn't really a point guard near him. We're talking power forward center, power forward. We're $200 cheaper to the Jamal Murray, Amin Thompson tier. But I just find Cade very difficult to get to. Not that I wouldn't enjoy rostering Cade Cunningham, but at his salary right now, I think you're hoping to get 60 fantasy points. That's a lot. That's a lot. So I'm looking more at Alperen Şengün. I certainly prefer Jaylen Brown to Cade Cunningham. But my keys in this Boston-Denver game, more the value. And by value, I mean like the mid-tier. You know, your Neemias Cade is at 5,500. Your Asar Thompson's at 5,100. I like Asar a lot today just because of his position. Like, if we look at small forward right now, Asar's at the top of the list. You've got Jabari Smith with the MPE, which is helpful. Ace Bailey for value, interesting spot. Jaylen Brown, if you're paying up, that's kind of where the line is at small forward. You've got really 3 guys that I like a lot in Jabari, Asar, and Ace Bailey. And then that next tier of Jaylen Brown, KD, Norm Powell, Najee Marshall, Klay Thompson actually today at 4,300 just because of the slate size. MPE helps. A lot of MPEs today, more than we typically have. I don't know if I have anything in this game that's like off the beaten path because they don't really do anything like that. No interest in Walsh. All right, I have interest in Walsh now. 5K, power forward only. It's a date with, I mean, he's probably guarding Cade tomorrow, I guess, or today, right? That'll be an interesting matchup. Cade is the guy that I anticipate having essentially 0 of. Unless this slate is just not what I expect it to be. $7,700 Duren, I'll have an eye on. I end up getting him more each slate, really, than most. He tends to be a guy that I end up on and I didn't really see it coming. But the trio at the top is what you want here in terms of priorities, at least for me right now. Peyton Pritchard, Neemias Queta, Asar Thompson. Cost effective, solid enough value. Yeah, Steven, it's getting to Jokic is difficult right now. We do not have a ton of pay down options. Let's go to the second game. This is Toronto and Miami. Toronto is still without RJ Barrett. Otherwise, we're looking at Quickly, who missed their last game. Akbaji got the start last time out as well. Seems like that's going to continue, but it doesn't have to. Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl. Rotation of Mamu, Jamal Shed, Jacoby Walter, Colin Murray-Boyles, and Grady Dick. On the Miami side, this one's a little bit more interesting to me. Starting lineup isn't changing. They're healthy-ish. Mitchell, Hero, Powell, Wiggins, Bam. But they are without Pell Larson. He sprained his ankle over the weekend. And I think that's kind of important because they're in a bit of a roster crunch right now. They've got too many rotational dudes. And that was making it kind of difficult. Now, with no Larson, who was like more or less definitely a part of this rotation, it puts us in a position where like you feel pretty good about Jaime Jaquez. I took his over on PrizePicks already, but like it raises his floor in minutes a little bit more. Where now with just one less guy around becomes more interesting to me from an upside perspective. They tend to play him a bit less when everybody's around, but all it takes is, you know, him being hot to get a couple extra minutes. You know, it formalizes Drew Smith to a degree, and I think it formalizes Simone Fontecchio to a degree. But not having Larson just like kind of opens things up. But like they've still got Kashad Johnson who peeks in here from time to time. Jovic isn't really playing. So they are still a complicated bench. Now, if we look at this game in general, Scotty Barnes is 8th overall. No one else from this game is in the top 10. So if we want to look at what this game just generally is, and Barnes is, I mean, realistically, like everybody's kind of the same. It's a very casual drop from the top. Like Scotty Barnes optimal rate, 18.7. Brandon Ingram, 17.6. Quickly, 16.5. Bam, 16.5. So like there's not a lot separating these guys. There's very little difference between Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and Emmanuel Quickly. Like Quickly's obviously easier to get to. Brandon Ingram's just kind of in the middle at a better position, but Scotty Barnes has the highest like realistic ceiling, or you need the most from him at least. $7,900 Bam is like kind of interesting here, but like more or less properly priced with everybody in. Davion at 5,800 I think is totally fine given what the slate looks like. But you can see just, you know, 18 or 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 15, 13, 13. Like these are all the same number, more or less. You want to tell me you like Tyler Hero more than you like anybody else here? I wouldn't tell you any different. Mamu has power forward center eligibility. That's helpful on a 4-gamer. Akbaji, 3,700, shooting guard, small forward eligible. Terrible per minute, dude, but shooting guard, small forward eligible means you can move him around. Probably playing a bunch of Ochai Akbaji if you want to get to Nikola Jokic today. That would be my guess. But it's an interesting game. It's weird for tiers. When I say tiers, I mean like the way that I rank guys. Because like there's not much separating Brandon Ingram from Emmanuel Quickly here. That's just where the natural lines get drawn. from a projection standpoint, Scotty Barnes is on a bit of an island. But then you start looking at this and it's like, who's most likely to 6x? Then you're getting Davion Mitchell and Jakob Poeltl. Like you're flipping that value metric around. But you need like 52 out of Scotty Barnes, 48 out of Brandon Ingram, 48 out of Bam, mid 40s for Quickly and Hero. But like 237 total, tied for the highest with Dallas and Utah. It's a fun game. We don't have a ton of like weird stuff to wait on. This is a slate where you're going to be able to get whatever you want, as best it looks right now. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get out of Jake Puddle from a minutes perspective. 25, 25, 23 the last three. He had that brief run with high 30s minutes a couple weeks ago. They're just going to yo-yo all over the place. You know, you hope for a decent chunk, but you never know. Folks, I mention it all the time. We're going to mention it again right here. Where is it? There it is. I'd love for you guys to download Tails. The link is in the description. I mean, you should be going to OddsShopper.com either way, but the link to the app is in the description. And it's just the easiest place for you guys to find either sports bets, pick'em cards. I've got DFS stuff up there every single day. I drop the contenders all weekend. There's been a contenders post up on Tails for me for the past 7 days. So you don't want to miss that. And it's all totally free. You download the app. We're just curating information for you guys. You cannot beat that. So click the link, download the app, follow along for free. Anything that hits the free picks feed is open season to you guys. And that's going to be coming from everybody. From me, from Laffy, from Ben, from Eric, from Greg, and then some. That's just the people you know on this Stochastic channel. There's like 200 plus people on Tails. You never know what you're going to find. If you find somebody that, you feeding you some winners over and over again, maybe they have a paid package and you could subscribe to them directly. That's available to you if you want it. If you download the app and you like what you see, leave us a review and a rating if you can. We've got 10 days left to get to 1,000 ratings for Christmas. That is our goal. We're working on it. It's looking good, but we need your help to do it. So download the app, leave a rating and a review. Ooh. Where'd my screen go? Oh, there it is. Hell of a morning. All right, game number 3. Dallas, Utah. Now, this one obviously has some swing information, as you can see it on the screen. Anthony Davis is questionable. Daniel Gafford is questionable. Gafford has missed 5 out of the last 6. Didn't go well for him in the one that he did play. We're already missing D'Angelo Russell. Derek Lively's cooked. So, if we happen to get AD and Daniel Gafford out, we are going to create quite a bit of value at center in some way. It seems to me, I think it's very real that Anthony Davis is not playing this game. And if that's the case, we're going to get some value. I don't know if that could be Gafford. I don't know how much he can play. Certainly something to pay attention to. This is big news for everything we need for this slate. Whether it ends up being a Dwight Powell day, a Musa Cisse game, we don't know. What is that message that I just got? Nope, nothing. Got a tweet alert, not NBA. Now on the Utah side, they are also a little bit different today. No Yusuf Nurkic. He is out for this one. So with no Nurk, we're expecting Kyle Filipowski here. The rest of their rotation is a crapshoot, but we know what they do with the rest of their starters. Could be a Kevin Love value day. We'll see. But we already have Nurkic out in this one. So, if we want to talk about this game, Dallas and Utah, I've got 2 pieces of this game in my top 10. You can only see one of them. The first of which is Brandon Williams. Point guard, 4,200, in at number 5 for me. This just has a lot to do with the lack of value on the slate. As you can see, he's the cheapest guy in the top 10. And if we want to just talk about why he's there, it's a salary thing for sure. Last 3 games, 24 minutes, 23 minutes, 26 minutes. He has been playing pretty regularly. We'll see where that truly ends up. I only projected him for 23 minutes. This is the sort of value we have right now. And that's why we're seeing Brandon Williams in my top 10. If we get any sort of value, he'll fall by default. The more people we get like him, he'll fall while other people rise. To finish it off, Ace Bailey on the opposite side. Small forward eligible, 4,700. Makes it into the number 10 spot for me. Again, we just don't have a ton of pay down options. When you can get him at a small forward position, one that's typically hard to fill, that's where you go. And, you know, there's upside in Ace Bailey, especially in a game that's basically a coin flip. Steven, a little bit. A little bit. If we knew AD was in, I think that goes to like 2.5 or 3. So that's what I have for that game so far. Let's drill into the rest of it. Brandon Williams at the top of the optimal list. Then you see Ace Bailey. Then everybody's just packed together like sardines. Flag, Filipowski at 5,400 with the MPE. Markkanen at 8,100. Nembhard is 4,500 and point guard eligible. But reminder, I like Brandon Williams more than I like Ryan Nembhard. With everybody that's available for the Mavs today, Ryan Nembhard has played like 180 minutes with those guys. He hasn't shot a free throw with them yet. He shot 3 free throws on the season. Which is crazy. Oh, who the hell did I see yesterday that hasn't taken a 2-pointer? Nick Batum. Nick Batum in like 250 minutes with the dudes that are available for the Clippers today hasn't attempted a 2-point shot. I got into the weeds last night. Yeah, Steven, I have it at 3.5 full strength. I don't love AD at 9,500, but realistically, if he's in, matchup-wise, it doesn't get much better than this. He should relish this opportunity. Keontae George has a massive ceiling. Najee Marshall's super flexible with guard forward eligibility. This is a really tough game to nail down because I think all of the pieces you could roster are like aggressively interchangeable. Oh, AD. Could hit this last game because this is the gem of the day. Rockets at Nuggets. Rockets are 1.5 point dogs. Tari Eason is questionable. He's been gone for ages, so we might see him. Otherwise, this is full strength Houston. Denver doesn't have Aaron Gordon or Christian Brown. Julian Strawther is questionable. Be good to get him back. But otherwise, this is like everybody we've seen for both of these teams for the past couple weeks, save for Tari Eason's news. And if Tari Eason's back, like, I don't know what his salary is right now, but he's not going to play a shit ton of minutes. This guy is permanently hurt. And this obviously is a wild game for, like, you know, arguably the second and third best teams in the West, depending on whether or not Victor Wembanyama is healthy. But it's making up a chunk of my top 10, including my number 1 play of the day in Alperen Şengün, 9,300, power forward, center eligible. And you're just expecting 34 or more minutes in this kind of matchup. Cam Johnson is my number 2 play of the day. Now, there is a gap. Şengün is number one with a bullet right now. And then there's a bit of a gap. But Cam Johnson, shooting guard eligible, 5,500. He's playing 35, 36 minutes every single night. I think he's going to get more involved as the season goes on. I just want to get to him here, especially on a 4-gamer. But we don't stop there. We've got one more for Denver, that is. We've got one more for Houston. All these colors blend together. Jabari Smith, small forward, power forward eligible, 6,300. He is 7th. And even at 12,700, Nikola Jokic makes it into the top 10 of my optimals for today. You need 73 points. That is the 20th percentile score when Nikola Jokic is in the optimal lineup. 73 today, potentially. But it's Nikola Jokic. He's projected for like 13 more points than anybody else or something. Jokic at 61-1. And then we've got a bunch of dudes in this next tier, but he's on an island. And that changes up the way the slate looks. But just looking at this game in general, I have no issue getting to Amen Thompson. Kevin Durant is shooting guard small forward eligible. I play him too much, unfortunately. No issue getting to Jamal Murray, although not the most fun setting. $4,300 for Steven Adams is very interesting. Do they play him more? Do they go double bigs more? Do we just see Steven Adams play like 25 minutes today? Because if every minute Steven Adams plays makes him more and more the best value play. It does not take much. The only thing limiting him is the fact that he's a center, but like 2 more minutes here and he's miles ahead of Brandon Williams. Even guys like Bruce Brown, Joval today at 3,700 is going to be a bit of a problem. Because if you're not going to take Jokic, there aren't too many values better than Joval. That's an actual thing. And you can see there's a line in the sand here. You get to tier C on the visual right now. That's 10% optimal. These guys are all 5 or below. Like, these are the guys you play today. Yeah, Spurs beating OKC was not expected. That's for sure. Look, it's weird. Like, there obviously becomes some sort of like weird discourse about OKC when that happens, when ultimately they're whatever in 2 and they've lost both of their games by 2 points. Like, they have 2 losses. It's December 15th. And in those 2 losses, they've lost by a combined 4. Sometimes it just happens. If Caruso wouldn't have missed that bunny like 2 minutes to go, man, it would have been so much different. It was a fun game to watch. All right, so here's the slate as a whole. Brandon Williams, for me right now, is my highest point per dollar option, but obviously this is live to move around. I did take his overs on PrizePicks. Cam Johnson, Tobias Harris, Ryan Nembhard, Asar Thompson. Like, we don't have real value options right now. It's where it starts to get dicey. Like, the best value at the top is Şengün. I think I'd probably lean Jaylen Brown next. And then by that point, you're making this decision of like, do I go Jokic or Scotty Barnes? I think one important thing today, and like this isn't necessarily a DFS thing, but it kind of is if you're hand building a bit more. And I think it comes down to just simply like, who do you think wins this Rockets-Nuggets game? Because like, if you look at Jokic, and you look at his fantasy points in wins versus losses, it's a 4.5 point gap. If you look at his real points, averages 29 in wins, 24 in losses. That could help you like build out a 4-game lineup a little bit easier. Like, if you're willing to go to Jokic, what do you pair that with? Or what do you avoid on the opposite side, too? That's where I think it starts to get very interesting. Tough slate, man. Just to shout it out, too. Memphis and the Clippers. Brandon Clark is doubtful for today. Which isn't really all the news in and of itself, but they need him back. He's so good at his role that it's a real problem when he's not around. I don't know how many years it's been at this point, but like whenever he's out there, Memphis succeeds. And at some point in time, they just need some of these damn guards back. Ty Jerome ever going to play? Scottie Pippen ever going to play? Like, God, I like Memphis so much, but I just want them to be different. On the Clippers side, Q-tag James Harden, Q-tag Nick Batum. That's obviously pretty big, you know? If Harden's out, everything changes about the Clippers. If Batum's out, you probably just see more of like Brook Lopez and other idiots. Yeah, absolutely, Steven. But I did want to hit on that one very quickly just in case. I'll show you my PrizePicks stuff. Don't overreact to these numbers. I want to be very clear. What you see on the screen is just raw projections. I would never take these at face value. They need to be regressed against other lines. But I do like seeing my personal extremes right from the jump. It also helps me to like understand a little bit more how things look. Number one play on PrizePicks for me right now is Spencer Jones over 0.5 assists. Jaylen Brown under turnovers. Cam Johnson over rebounds. Jaime Jaquez over PRA. Max Christie over rebounds. Derek White under 2.5 blocks and steals. Raw projections have it at 16.5% chance to go 6 of 6. It should be pretty obviously aggressively high. But that would be my top 6 PrizePicks plays right now. Not bad. Do we have any value up on OddsShopper right now? Any positive EV plays on OddsShopper? Let's find out. We do got a couple. Jordan Walsh under 5.5 rebounds on FanDuel is a 6 OddsShopper rating, 4.5% EV. Jalen Duren under 11.5 rebounds is a 3 OddsShopper rating. Oh, Walsh already cratering. Let's have some fun. I'm going to pull this up in my Sims to see how it looks. This will be probably the last thing we do here. So if I pull up Jordan Walsh, right now the line that's available is plus 114 on under 5.5 rebounds. Where do I have it? I don't remember what the line was. I forgot already. 114? Oh, this is going to look great. Yeah. Give me the under on Jordan Walsh rebounds. I like it even more statistically. That's a great line. If you think Boston wins, it's fine. All right, Duren under 11.5 rebounds, even money. I was already in the game. I'm dumb. I got an edge there as well. Both of these bets look great on FanDuel. Should grab them. They're out there right now. FanDuel or DraftKings has a fun promo today. 20% profit boost up to $20 on points props. 3-legger. You can hunt some of those down. Got some hockey props showing up as well. Anything in the parlay builder looking interesting? Not on BetMGM, there's not. Anything on the Pick'em builder looking interesting? We got a little bit of value on PrizePicks right now. -4. That's a shame. Best we can get to is -0.4. Let me hit you guys with the schedule for the rest of the day before we get out of here. Obviously, I am on this show, and it exists. However, we got more going on today. NFL Strategy Show. Laffy and Greg coming up next at 10 a.m., breaking down Monday Night Football. Keep your eyes peeled for the perfect lineup from Laffy and I. I'll have a bonus perfect lineup out on Tails later today. NHL Strategy Show at 1:30. You get Live Before Lock with myself and Eric at 6. Then NFL Live Before Lock tonight, 7:15. That's where we're at, folks. Easy one today. Easy one tomorrow. We've got NBA Cup tomorrow. All we get are Spurs Knicks, and then just 2 games again on Wednesday. So it's going to be light work for these first couple of days, but buckle up for Thursday. We're going to be putting in a shift. Sign up at Stochastic if you want. Sign up at OddsShopper if you want. All of these links are in the description. I think you should sign up at all of them personally. Why wouldn't you want to be in our entire ecosystem? Download Tails. Follow me on Tails. Because I'm posting constantly all across the board. Parlays, pick'em cards, and DFS. I'm a one-stop shop. That's going to do it, folks. I hope you guys enjoy your Monday. If you're on the East Coast, stay warm today because I know what it is right here in North Carolina, and from what I understand, it's not much more pleasant everywhere up and down the north. So stay warm, everybody. I'll talk to you guys later.